Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome, true art believers. This is Pearson here, and he is getting ready to draw. He's going to start narrating. I'm going to start narrating what I think, not he, like I'm third person. What is this? What is this? All right, so I gotta get in that conversationalist, that mood. I gotta get in that mood of talking again. I gotta get in that space, that headspace where I was at yesterday. That was really nice, actually. I learned a lot. Although I came off as kind of like whiny, I guess. I'm like, this guy's just whining. He's just whining the whole day. Like always, he's just talking about his problems, and that wasn't the intention. That was not what I had intended to do at all. That's not what I intended to do. So I feel really good for, I don't know, for right now at least. I just feel pretty good today. I think the drawing's going okay. It could be going a lot better, but what are you going to do about that? You can only do so much, and you can only improve so quickly, you know. And what are you going to do? You're just going to have to keep working on it and have your eye on the ball and then hope that the next day will prove to have something more meaningful or more productive or more hope that you've you've moved forward in your day to day. You just gotta be mindful of that, right? You just gotta be mindful of the things that are occurring in your life and not necessarily hope, but just keep working every day, and then things are going to be okay, dude. Things are just going to be just fine. We're going to work it out. We're all going to work out. We're going to be just fine. We're going to be just fine. Nothing's going to be wrong. Everything's going to be okay. You know. At least that's what I'm saying to myself, so I can not be so overwhelmed. And so I have this background music kind of here to kind of release some tension because it is very like unlike a lot of the younger crew who are used to this. this is this makes me kind of like anxious doing this, so it makes me very nervous, and I've been doing it because it makes me anxious and makes me nervous to do things like this. You may not know it because I'm talking, but inside I'm like screaming. I'm like, no, no, don't do this. You don't like doing this, man. This is bad. This is your nightmare. Don't do it. And I'm like, don't tell me what to do, subconscious. Subconscious. Is it subconscious or subconscious? Oh gosh, there we go. It's starting again. I feel it. I feel it starting. The the fear. I'm not having really. It's not really fear. I guess it's more like just here we go again. It's more like here we go again. Matt's making a bunch of mistakes. Watch him make it. All these mistakes in person in real time. I think that's what one thing that people need not be afraid of is making mistakes. Like I was looking at these YouTube channels, and just looking at them like no one does anything that isn't scripted. It's all like it's great that you can do that. Like you can live by a script, but how you need to. I think some of these people need to do more like what I'm doing is, you know, not worrying about what they're going to say. Well, I mean, you should worry a little bit. You don't want to say like crazy stuff, but don't be worried. Don't worry that you're going to fib up and make a mistake, and that's like the story of my life, really. I've had just mistake after mistake, so I'm not too um, I'm not too worried about it. About I'm not too like concerned about like, hey, he's gonna say the wrong thing. It's like it's guaranteed. For me, I'm guaranteed to say something weird and out of place and not really, not it doesn't sound good. It's like not like a bad thing, but like just like, wow, this guy's like the Steve Urkel of saying dumb stuff all the time and mixing up his words. So I'm just going to have to accept that. I've gotten better. That's the funny part. Is like this guy used to be real bad, but now I've gotten a little bit better. But you know, it's a challenge, and I have gotten better. So I can be thankful for that. And it's happened because I've done so many things wrong. You know, I've done so many things wrong, and you just got to keep plowing through. Oh, I'm using. I was like, why is it not? Why isn't anything working? I was like, oh, because I. Oh, there we go. That's way too much. I was like, why isn't this working? I'm drawing on here and nothing's coming up. It's because I was in the blend tool. So I'm just kind of moving around here, you know, and trying using the conversation, the talk, as a as a like a as a distraction tool, you know. I'm using it to distract me. I'm using it to distract me, to help me with this drawing, because otherwise I tend to overthink it. So the more I talk, the more nervous I get. The more nervous I get, the more anxious. When I get more anxious, the less prone I'm to overthinking. So right now I'm using this as like a stepping stone to kind of just keep moving with the drawing, you know, and I think it's kind of helping. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to question it. Just going to keep pushing the drawing forward and hope that it gets to the point. Oops. Gets to the area that I want it to at the time. So that's what I'm doing. So as you can see, I'm kind of playing around with that in color there to kind of really and I know that the contrast isn't enough. So I'm amping up the contrast because it needs a little bit more contrast there. And that's what I'm doing. Giving the areas that need more contrast. And you notice I'm trying to move my pencil over and over. I'm trying to keep the pencil moving. I'm just trying to keep it going. Because if it stops, if the pencil stops moving, then um, I'm in trouble, because it means that I decided to stop and kind of take my conscious mind and have my conscious mind navigate the drawing, when really I need to have the subconscious mind kind of move through, because I know what to do. I know what's going on, or at least I know in theory, and I just need to apply the theory to the reality of the piece. Like I know that there needs to be more contrast. The color that I'm seeing, I want to put that in there. I know all that stuff. So that's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards adding some contrast to really make this feel more realistic. Certain areas need a little bit more pizzazz than others. I'm just going to work through it. Just keep pushing forward. And that's what another thing that you another thing that a lot of artists kind of not new art, not old artists, like not older artists, but like okay, like artists that are more experienced don't have this, or artists that actually artists that don't have a lot of experience don't have this because they just kind of do it arbitrarily. But newer, like actually, I think it's probably even a lot of newer generation artists that want to, or people that want to be artists, um, have this. They're so concerned about doing the right action with the drawing that they slow down dramatically, and you just gotta you won't know what to do until you have something on the surface, and so you just got to keep pushing the drawing forward. So that's what I'm trying to subconsciously do. I'm just trying to force the actions, you know, and that way I'm not thinking too much because I tend to stop. There's this everyone tends to like there's these artists that like the old some there's some old school artists that will sit back and stare at their piece, and wonder what's gonna happen next, right? What should I do? What should I do to this painting, this drawing? I don't know. Could I do this? Yes. Could I do that? Yes. You can just keep asking yourself, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do any of this? Right? And all the answers they're all yes. You should. And you should do them now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. Do them now so you can have a scaffolding, a platform, a point of reference so that you can know where you need to go to next. Because if you don't have anything on the surface and you just have, just nothingness, how do you know what to do? Like you don't have any reference points. You need more information on the paper. And that way you can make more conscious decisions about what to do next. And so that's why I'm just kind of moving the marker, moving this piece forward. I'm not worried about whether the actions are the best. I'm just trying to keep moving forward. Now, again, it doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot, but through time, there is a lot happening, you know. Trying to just not worry about like is this the best thing I need to be doing? Is this the best course of action? Is it? Tell me, art gods. Oh, art gods, god of arts. Is this the best thing that I need to do with this drawing? What do I need to do? Tell me what needs to be done and I'll do it, art gods. I made up a little narrative as art gods, apparently. You're going to notice my voice get more and more raspy as the time moves on because I've been doing a lot of talking as of late, and it's just been really damaging to my vocal cord. Now I'm overthinking it. I'm starting to overthink it. I can feel it. Just got to keep moving. There was a little hiccup where I stopped moving, and I was like, uh-oh. I feel it. I feel the doubt creeping up in there. I feel me questioning the movement, the action. I feel it. I can feel it creeping up into my mind, telling me, you're not doing the right thing. Do this. This is the way to go with your drawing. And I'm like, are you sure? I know what is right, and you don't know what's right. You are doing everything wrong. And I'm like, no, don't tell me. I thought I was doing everything right. No, 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 no. I could have sworn it was all right. All of it was right. And I'm like, no. And that's what the subconscious mind is saying to me. I know what is going on. I am the creme de la creme of everything that is you. I know how to draw. It has always been me that has given you the ability and not you. And I'm like, you shut up. You shut up. You don't tell me what to do, bro. I have been working my balls off. I've been working my sweat, blood, and tears off to get here. Don't tell me what to do. Intellectual mind. It's the smart side in me that's telling me what to do and saying this isn't right. You shouldn't be doing these colors together. And I'm like, no, no, you listen to me. This works. It's gonna work. It's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine as wine, bro. We're gonna make it better. We're gonna go in there. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get some. Get it. Da, 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 da. So again, just kind of moving around, moving around the area and just, no specific areas being tackled. I'm just moving around with the surface and not necessarily hoping things pan out, but I'm just kind of off the cuff looking at the relationships that I'm putting onto the surface right now and then making really quick decisions, you know, just making really quick decisions on what needs to be done and basically tightening up the image ever so slightly more and more. So making it a little bit more crisp, a little bit more detailed, shrinking the airbrush some, and then eventually what I'm going to do is I don't know, I think I'm going to play around with textures or something, or eventually get into some harder edged brushes or something. But I'm just not there yet. I'm just not in that headspace yet to get to that. Or maybe I should be. Maybe I should be moving to that area pretty soon. I don't know. That goes with that comes with knowledge and experience. And I've done a lot of these, but like not enough to say, hey, this is when you start moving towards these steps, you know. And so I don't know when's the right time. So I'm just kind of playing it by ear. I'm okay with it as long as the drawing's kind of moving forward somewhere. If it's not moving forward, and what I mean by moving forward is like I'm getting things onto the surface. It's I don't know if it's hard to tell whether or not it's improving, but at least things are changing to the point where you can tell after 20 minutes or so, right? So that's what I'm doing. Just moving the drawing forward. You know, I'm not quite obsessed with I'm not too worried about like the airbrush making things soft because eventually I can change that. But right now I'm just kind of, I don't know why, but this is stuff so jagged. I think what it might have to do is harden those up or cover them up or something. Some of the stuff is just really jagged, you know. A lot more jagged than I want it to be. So I just kind of keep moving, you know. Yesterday was something. That was a trip. I don't know what I was talking about. I was just like, just talking, man. Just talking about all my worries of the world, you know, things that I had to, internal demons that I had to face every day, you know. And it was it like cathartic or therapeutic or a little bit of both? I think it was a little bit of both. Maybe I'm misusing the word cathartic. I'm not sure. I've been known to do that before. So I get to know you don't use it in that way, Matt. I'm like, okay, thanks. Guess I won't use it in that way again. You know, but it is what it is, and you just gotta deal with it, and hopefully, everything pans out, right? So again, just playing around, playing around with the tones. Like I've noticed I'm playing around with making the colors a little bit more gray in some areas. I don't know why. I don't know why. Just gonna do it. Just gonna make them grayer. So I'm just trying to be as calm as I can. Just moving the drawing forward. Try not to be too concerned with the woes of the world. You know, there's a lot of stressful things just going on every day. We all got our own problems, we all got our own crosses to bear, you know, all got our own things we got to deal with. And everyone's experiences are different, and everyone's experiences, you know, some people the same experience hits them harder than another person, you know. And you can't be too upset, right? You just gotta focus on it. It's okay though. Everything's gonna be okay. I gotta say that. I gotta like I've been thinking about it. I just gotta say it. I've been trying to say it because normally I let I've been letting all the stress in the world just kind of like go on my shoulders, and oh my gosh, I just can't take it, you know. Just can't take it. If you're looking at these videos, you can see, I gotta take a break. I'm gonna save the file, save it. I got a 5-minute break, but I'm gonna keep talking. If you look at my eyes, you can see like, oh God, they're heavy. They're so darn heavy. They are so heavy because it's almost like I got like 45-pound weight dumbbells or barbells just pulling my lids down all the time. You know, I got so much to work. I got so much things. I got so many things I got to work on, and just not enough time in the day. Oops, did I close it out? Oh yeah, if you close it out, apparently it disappears. That's new. Uh, but every day is a challenge. Like today, it's okay. The drawing's looking okay. I don't like the weird distortion on the side of the head. But you got to keep drawing, and then sometimes when you come back to the drawing, it's like your eyes have you've you've received new insight, right? Like when you draw in a drawing for so long, it becomes like wallpaper, and you don't see things the way that you should be seeing them. And so I find it interesting to have other people that can draw or something like that, like paint for 8 hours straight. And like they must have an intense mental focus, because after like three, or after like two for me, it's like, um, what do I do next? Because it looks like all the values and the tones tend to merge into one. They all blend into one type of shape. I think what I'm going to do next is this is going to be an airbrush session, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to you come back the next few sessions. I'm going to use it's a brush, but it's like it has a spackly effect, so it kind of looks like the way that I apply the brush strokes. It kind of looks like pores, and then I'm going to go over on top of some details. I'm not sure yet, because it's kind of new. This adding the using the airbrush. I don't use the airbrush, and it feels always it's just too soft. Like I'm not used to that softness, and it feels like to me it feels like I'm spraying powder. Like I'm rubbing powder onto the drawing surface, and I just don't know how to make the edges harder with the airbrush. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, because I have the hard airbrush tool on here, and it just doesn't look like it's creating a hard surface or hard edge. You'd think you would think when you have a soft airbrush, it creates soft, and then you have a hard airbrush, you'd create a hard edged airbrush with some fade. This one doesn't at all, so I'm kind of dealing with that. But we will see. We're just gonna deal with it. We're gonna work through it, just like your day, right? You gotta. Oh boy, you know I've talked a lot, and it's starting to weigh really heavy on my shoulders, making me really tired. But you gotta. It's like I'm trying to say it in a way that makes sense, but every day, this goes for everyone. Every day, we all have our own sets of challenges that we have to face every day. You know, and every person's challenge is just as valuable as the others. The just as valuable, or just has just as much merit as other people's. And you gotta learn, I guess, to put yourself in their shoes. And it's hard. no one wants to admit it. No, they all think their struggles is worse than others. And maybe they are on paper, you know? I don't know. I'm not defending people, but like there are things that hit people harder. Like someone who loses $500 it may not hit them, it may not affect them, but it may hit, like for another person, if they lose $500, it's like the world's crashing. And it could be because they have more money in the bank, or it just feels like they're spiraling out of control. Maybe the person that loses $500 is a billionaire, and it still might hit them hard. Why? Yeah, so you can see I'm playing around with colors, and then yeah, although it's still getting a level of softness that I really don't like. So I'm trying to keep applying tones that I'm hoping that when I keep applying those tones that I guess the softness may have to do with I'm not pushing the the value range enough and separating those tones, so that might be part of it, right? So like there's not enough contrast, and I'm trying to kind of get that contrast. And it's easier said than done because these things this is so subtle, and I'm not doing a verbatim drawing, you know. I'm really trying to make the drawing kind of my own, you know. Again, part of it has to do with contrast, part of it has to do with the airbrush making the edges softer than they really are. So there's a lot of things at play with this image, that are affecting the the look. So it's not one thing causing it. It's a multitude of things, and I'm just trying to navigate through it. Trying to navigate through the process and just hope that by the end of the day it pans out. I'm really behind on this drawing. I was hoping to be closer to done, but I'm not. I'm just not. And it is what it is. And maybe I need to do a more of a farther work from afar as opposed to working so close. So I got to change the view a little bit. That's why I'm also drawing upside down. Is I'm not drawing upside down because I like drawing upside down. I am drawing upside down to get a different perspective of what's going on. So I can see colors that I normally wouldn't see areas that I normally wouldn't notice, or see certain contrast and forms. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm drawing upside down. It's not because it's not. It's it's an aesthetic choice. Another thing that I don't normally do is I don't normally use the blending tool. So I'm mixing around with airbrushes and blending tools. Each new drawing, I tend to do something a little bit different, something a little bit new. Not necessarily to separate it from the previous one, but oops, to kind of grow and to learn a little bit. So the previous human portrait I started using the airbrush, but I don't think I don't think I used as much variety with the color as I'm doing in this one, you know. And perhaps maybe what I can do is maybe I might think about doing like let's get another layer here just to try something out. Maybe what I might do is on the side add like a green highlight so that when I put the background, you can, I think I might add a green highlight. That might be cool. I might do that. That might be something to consider. That was just something I thought about doing now because I want it to have to be separated from the purple background, and it's not going to be entirely purple. It's not going to be all purple, but it's going to be predominantly purple because the tones in the background are kind of like a bluish purple, kind of tealish, you know. So, but I digress. I need to get back to it. Let's move down here. I haven't worked on the mouth at all. Just gotta I just gotta keep moving forward with it, you know. Keep tightening these forms, make them a little bit crisper, a little bit more pronounced. And not get too worried about it being, not get too worried about it if it's slightly off, you know. I watch these people do these lips. They do these really good lip drawings, and I'm like, man, they're amazing. Like they're flipping good, dude. They are really good. I'm like, I don't even know how they do that. And it turns out it's like something really simple that they've done so many times. That's like just a habit. You know, it's just like, oh, this is easy. You just do this and you do this, and then voila, you got these shiny lips. Yay, shiny! Ah, shiny lips. Look at these lips. They're so shiny. They're great. They're the greatest lips. They're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's ever gonna keep you down. Oh gosh, my eyes are so heavy. They're so heavy. Like I don't know. Maybe it's perhaps it's not because I'm tired. Perhaps it's like maybe I'm dehydrated or my eyes are dry because I've been staring at this drawing for I'm getting close to 50 minutes, you know, and I'm not blinking. I'm talking. Like I notice when I start talking, the drier my eyes get, which is weird. Hey, here's something about me that you didn't know. When I talk for incredibly long periods of time, my eyes get dry. Perhaps I might need to do another layer, do a little testy test here. We're gonna do a test. I gotta. Yeah, I gotta use this. We're gonna do something like that. Okay, I just wanted to see what it kind of looks like because I'm gonna use that as uh, for my hair when I work on the beard. There's a brush that kind of does like this strand like application, and I want to do that on top of the skin on the top layer because it's yeah, I think it's necessary. But we need to go back and just start working on the lips some more. Man, yesterday, let me tell you, uh, put my kid down, my daughter down for a little nap, and I just crashed. Like I fell asleep and I had some crazy dreams. They were kind of they were kind of trippy. Uh, they were super intense, which might I meant I probably was super exhausted. You know, I was just probably really tired. Just fell into the bed, and the rest was history. You know, but yeah, I needed that sleep, I guess. Just needed to get some Z's, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I'm just messing around with the teeth. Just adding subtle details. Like not even that. They're not even like great details. They're just kind of subtle, just to make it feel like there's actual teeth in there. Again, all this is very new. Always doing something slightly different each time. Always doing something slightly different each time. I'll say that's better than nothing, right? Okay, let's work on the lips some more. So again, just bouncing around, not trying to worry about whether this is the right action or not, you know, just pushing the contrast to where I feel the contrast needs to be darker so that eventually it's going to start really I'm going to dial it in. I think what I need to do is maybe tomorrow I got to spin a session just working on the torso area, darkening that up, you know, and working on the shirt and torso just to kind of bring it up to speed because I was having a little bit of trouble with it yesterday, and I need to remedy that before everything kind of gets out of hand. You know, make sure that everything is really on the level that I want it to be. So I noticed that this lip, I wasn't giving it its due justice, its due diligence. It curves down more. The reflection, so we're going to have that reflection kind of go down a little bit more. You know, just because that's what I see. Making a little bit more true to what I'm seeing here. So it's all just a giant slow process, and unfortunately, I'm not quick yet, and you know, it's gonna take me this one's gonna take me a while because I'm doing two portraits, and I'm in retrospect though, I'm actually going a lot faster than normal. Like I wouldn't be at this stage with both both of the people here, be I'd be much farther behind. So I can say that I have improved a little bit with the speed. I don't know, like the quality's kind of gone up to an extent with regards to the speed, uh, and I also got to accept the fact that even though the quality's gone up a little, and my speed's gone up a little, like my drawing speed. Uh, but I keep adding these new elements in, so it tends to slow me down again because I decide that, hey, let's add this here. Let's try this out. What will happen? What's going to happen next? What will happen? Hey, do you know? Hey, Matt, do you know what's going to happen if you decide to do all your whole drawing in an airbrush because that's what everyone else does and that seems to be working, so I might as well try it out? Do you know what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. I'll find out. Oh, man. Time to tone this down. It's a little too yellow. This could be darker on the side. And there's an area of red. Just a little area of red right there that I'm seeing. All right, drink some coffee for a second. Mmm, yum. That is cold. So the eye is like, I want to say like there's areas of purplish gray. And so that's what I'm trying to play around with. I think, again, this all boils down to really just pushing that contrast and giving those edges a little bit more of a hard look to them. I always like to take color samples from the original photo to kind of use it as a gauge, to kind of not to always use it to its fullest, but to kind of I don't know what I want to how do I explain this. It's it's a gauge, but it's not necessarily like, hey, an end. Let's see here. I want to have the colors from the photo as a guide, and then I kind of manipulate them after the fact. And this is something I've also been playing around with, is adding a little bit more hatching into the piece and seeing where it takes me. Using like the airbrush to create some sort of like hatching. I like it. Usually it gets covered up, but it's there. It doesn't get fully erased, you know. So I'm fine with that. Maybe I just need to really buckle down and push that contrast even to that's even fuller, you know? Maybe that's what I gotta do. Put lines on this area where there's really none. Maybe I could do something opposite. Maybe what if I do this? This might be an idea. I use a little bit of a highlight. Yeah, see, so it's starting to form out, even though the colors are kind of exaggerated, but some of those edges are starting to form out. It's starting to feel. What I want to do is I want to have these hyper-saturated colors in areas, but I don't want them to be like cartoonish. So I still want it to have like some like I still want it to be kind of tethered to the original piece visually, like with color-wise, but also have its own type of like visual aesthetic, and that's going to take some time. And it's I've been working on it. You know, I'm working on it. I've been working on it. Gosh, this is a lot of work, guys. Guys, guys, tell me. How are you doing today, guys? How are you doing? Let's try going down to the neck a little bit. Yeah, let's do some of the neck. The neck needs some loving. It looks kind of like vacant. We're gonna go with its blue. We're gonna use that. Yeah, we're just gonna use that. Put that there. We're gonna put that blue, make it a little bit darker, I guess. Because I'm assuming what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that hair like hairbrush, and it's gonna go on top of this layer or one of these layers. And when I do that, you're not gonna see the blue tone so much, you know? You're not gonna see it. Yeah, just this thing about airbrush, like I just stupid soft edges, man. They drive me bananas. I can't handle it. It's like, why would you say it's a hard edge airbrush when clearly it makes a soft like edge? Stop lying to me, you. Just do it. Stop giving me a soft edge. I just hate it. You know? Again, I'm going back to using the original photo as the color source material, particularly just for the neck. I don't. I think that's fine. What I might do here is I might add a little pizzazz. Add something that's semi-vivid on the neck here. Just as like a little flare. You know, just see how that looks. Yeah, add that little color there. Alrighty. As you can see, the shirt and neck needs a little bit of lip service. It's drastically behind. I might need to not today, but tomorrow I'll do I'll spend a couple sessions on it, a couple like blocks of 25 minutes on it because I don't want it to be super detailed. I think it's going to be a lot darker than it is now. It probably should be to it probably should be it probably should be darker to basically propel the faces forward, and that's what's happening here anyways. And I already know that I'm going to do some elements in the foreground that's going to kind of cover part of that up. So I don't need to invest as much time in it, you know. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm not too worried about that um, being out of place. And what's really interesting is when I step back and view it right now, because I'm in the streaming section. When I view it, it looks okay. It's going to look even better when I start adding that. When I start changing the brushes, and then I start adding the texture brushes, kind of add those hard edges. So that's going to be. I think that's going to probably have to be real soon. I think that might be like the next step. I think I've kind of run the course of using the airbrush, and then I'm going to use the brush that has a little bit more of a pixely jitter. It'll create kind of a more of a porish, more like pores to the skin. And then maybe I'll probably bounce between that brush and the airbrush just to kind of get acclimated so I can have a good balance. You know, I don't know. And then what I'll probably do is start using the texture brushes because I have some brushes that look like like pores, like they're like pores, I guess. I don't know. So I just got to relax. Let's close my eyes for a second because the staring at the screen is it could be draining. It can be draining, you know. So I got to breathe out. It's just whatever thing's stressing me out, let it go and move forward, you know. So it's like your thoughts are a river. I heard this analogy once, and the river is the bunch of thoughts, and you know your hand, you're like fishing, and you're constantly grabbing those thoughts, and you want to hold on to it. You want to keep that fish. What you got to do is you got to let it go. Like you got to let that thought go and let the stream pass by because you're the stream of thoughts just keeps going, you know. And you just got to pick it up, look at it, and let it go, and not worry about it. So, and that's what you got to kind of do with the drawing. You have to do that with your drawing so that uh oh boy, so you're not holding it too precious that it hinders the progress. If that makes any sense. So that's what you got to do. You got to focus on it. Yeah, you just got to focus on the task at hand. Oh boy, there's some shenanigans going outside of the room. this is what happens when I don't do my drawing. I don't start my drawing on time when I hit the snooze button. My daughter wakes up around this time. I'm usually about to wrap up, but not today because I decided to hit the snooze button, you know, or I stayed up late doing a few things on my website and my blog and getting this stuff ready, getting this stuff kind of prepared so that I can give it to the guy Ryan who I spoke with yesterday, who I had an interview with. I had to do all that stuff, and I just wanted to have a blog post that is up there that talked about the interview, just kind of put it out there, you know. And so I had to do that, and then I got I got lost in trying to improve my YouTube channel because it's pretty garbage. I'm not gonna lie, it's awful. Like I don't have like all the like I looked at how long I've been on YouTube and I was like, man, I've been on YouTube forever. I didn't do anything with it up until like a few years. And even up and like I've done more with it now this past month than I have all those years before it, you know? And I was like, man, what have I been doing? You know? This is something I've been wanting to do forever, and I just didn't do it. What was on my mind? What was pulling me away? You know, as I said, we have all these things pulling our attention from things that we want to do. I've always wanted to like I'm not the greatest artist, but I do have a I just heard this quote everyone everyone is like there's always someone there's everyone has is like you're better that everyone is your superior in one thing, you know. So I think, in that like meaning that everyone has something of value to provide. Like that could be someone who makes less money than you, who's someone who is smart, who like I don't know, I don't have an example. Like you think like Elon Musk, like oh Elon, you can never provide any insight into Elon Musk, but if you dig deep enough, there's something that you're better at than he is. Or Joe Rogan, the guy makes $50 million, like $1 million, I don't know, $100,000 per podcast or YouTube or Spotify, whatever he's at now. And you have something that he doesn't have. It could be one thing, but everyone has something that they're superior over you. And that's not a bad thing. It means that everyone's different and everyone has something to provide, and I was like, man, I have something to provide, you know. And I thought, well, why not? Just do it, and we're just going to improve as we go along. And it's a learning curve, man. I've like it's taken a while, but like I've just decided to just to bite bullet and not worry because like you see all these YouTubers that have this nice production quality, and that's what they do, and I'd love that'd be something that I should aspire to be at, because I need to be more than just an artist. I need to talk about some of these things because I think I do have some unique points of view um, that other people just don't get at. And maybe it's because of all the countless hours of like p- podcasts that I would listen to. And I was like, man, these guys point out some good things. And at the very least, why can't I just regurgitate them in a different like context? And so that to a person, like to a different person, like maybe the things that these guys are espousing or these people are espousing uh, are going on deaf ears, because they're saying it, and they're saying it in a way that just doesn't resonate. But maybe regular old Joe Matt, right? Joe Schmo right here, because he's just like an average Joe who lives in the manual labor world, who lives in the academic world, whose feet are in both, whose feet are tethered to the minimum wage job and the academia, right? Who knows what it's like to have to sweat to get pain in their hands because their job involves them to do manual labor, to have a job where you put your back on the line. Who's been there? I've been there, man. I've been in some cruddy jobs, you know, and I understand what it's like, you know. And so like when you see these YouTubers talk about like do this, do that, like man, majority of you may have had like a cruddy job for like a minute, but I've had cruddy jobs and I'm still in a job that's like it's not cruddy. I like it. But like it's not like I'm not going to go around bragging about it, you know, unfortunately, because society is like, "Oh, you do that on the side?" Like, "Yeah, it's good money, you know? It's good money. What about you? What are you doing on your free time?" "Oh, I'm watching my Netflix, watching my shows." Like, I don't know what that's like. I watch like a show a night, and that's maybe a show at night, and that's only because I want to spend time with my wife and kind of deload for the evening. I don't benefit from it. I lose an hour of sleep. I'm dead tired, you know? I'm tired. So I don't benefit from staying up and watching a show. The only benefit is there's a moment with my wife, and that, and I'll sacrifice that hour. I know it sound like some people think that's really selfish of you. You're like you think that sacrificing that hour means anything? Well, it means something to me. It means I don't feel tired. It means I feel tired the next day and I'm lagging around. You know, my sleep's very valuable to me. May not be to you, you know, may not be to other people because when you're maybe you get are able to get up whenever you want. I'm happy for you, dude. I'm happy for you, but I don't have that luxury yet, man. I'm trying it. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying my darndest to get there. So maybe there'll be a day I can get up, start one of these live streams either in the evening or in the morning, and not have to worry about like wrapping it up real soon because um, I have to go to work at a certain time, or not have to worry about uh, cutting it short because I was I decided to because I need to go to bed. You know, maybe there'll be a point in my life. I'm fingers crossed. Maybe there'll be a point where where this is going so well, right? That I could I could say, you know what, I'm really feeling this drawing, and I have the time available. Maybe I can stay a little longer and talk about what's going on, you know, and talk through these things. And that's what this is right now. This whole drawing thing at well live. The reason why I'm talking is mainly so there's no dead air, dude. No dead air. We don't want that dead air. And I'm on a roll, and I don't want to roll for initiative. So this is something I this news doing a lot of color testing to kind of get a better transition. And I never did this before up until now, and I'm not that good at it yet, but it's good to try the new things. It's good to try the new things. I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I probably went on kind of like a session where it sounds like I'm complaining again. I'm not. I'm not complaining. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. There's a lot of things going on in the world, man, and a lot of people are struggling. You know, we're all struggling. We're all having some things going on. And as I said, everyone has things that are pulling on them, and some are good. Some are more troublesome than others. And what I have going on in my life is not really. It's not really bad. You know, like it's not like, oh, this is bad. This is all bad stuff. No, it's not bad. None of it's really bad. You know, it's not really bad. But I'm not going to go, as I said, I'm not going to go around saying, oh, it's great. This is all great. Everything's fine. But I'm struggling. We're all struggling. We're all working. We're all in this type of we're all in this world together. You know, and maybe I'm talking like maybe I'm fooling myself. I don't know. Or maybe I'm trying to talk it through so that it makes sense to me. You know, so all this kind of makes sense, and also so it doesn't. So it's just not like so we're not just having like a dead airwaves. So I'm also talking to kind of keep the dialogue going because maybe you're like this guy's got to shut up. Just shut up, dude. I want to see you draw. I don't want talk about why you're drawing and what you're doing. I don't want to hear you talk about this existential stuff. You weirdo. I never used to be this way. I used to party a lot. I used to party way too much. Yeah, that's like more like the average person partied a lot, maybe they didn't. I don't know. Maybe they were just go to. Maybe they're just wired, but like I partied way too much, and when I look back, I was like, man, I just squandered that time a little bit. And it does make me feel a little sad that that happened, but also it makes me it makes me think harder and think about my decisions a little bit more than I normally would. It makes me think about like, do I need to be watching these shows or do I need to be doing this? And I try to sometimes I don't do this often, but like I have this little thing that I've been trying to do and it never happens. I like always forget to do it. Like of course I'll get sucked up just like the average person, like watching silly garbage on YouTube, like, oh, this is entertainment, and then and then sometimes what I'll tend to do is I'll say, does this is what I'm watching, is this making me a better person? Like, is it providing me with insight or a skill that I can apply towards my day to day? And sometimes I try to ask that question, and I don't do it near often enough, but I do it so that I can act it as like a safeguard, and I need to do it more often because there's times where I just get like, I'm just sucked in, man. Those algorithms, man, they get you good, and they just like suck you in, and you're just you don't get out of it for a while, you know. And also with the all the way the algorithms work on like on all the posts on Twitter and Facebook, it's either all good stuff or it's all like just negative stuff. you know, and all people post is all people post is like what what is good with their life, and it makes people like, I guess, like clicky. It's like a high school, like jealous. Look how good I am. I'm successful. Look at the house that I spent 6 figures on. I paid all in cash, bro. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, or it's all bad stuff. Like, the world sucks. This is terrible. Post negative stuff. This is post negative stuff, and it's all political negative stuff. It's all like a negative political stuff, or like just like this is going on, and I'm outraged. I'm like, come on, man, come on, man. It's easy. That's the easiest trick in the book, bro. We all can be outraged. You know what? In my opinion, though, the best way to make the world a better place, the best way is to make yourself better, and then you become an example. You know, you become an example for someone else to to model their world around, and they can be the same age as you. Like, I'm not ageist in that sense. Like, I'll see some people that are vastly younger than me. I'm like, man, dude, they got their stuff in order, dude. YouTube, man. If I had been listening to these people, if I was their age and I listened to those people, I would probably be better off. Like, because there's this so much wisdom that's being bestowed upon, and either the new generations taking it or wasting their time on other things. And it's like 50-50. But man, dude, there's like some these people got their act together, and they know, and plus what they have that added benefit of they have this added benefit. They have free time, especially when they're still in school. They have this thing that they undervalue, or maybe they know it, but they don't understand. Like, they have this free time that you just don't. It's so undervalued, and I wasn't taught it. Like, well, then again, like, who knows? Like it's not like a inherent skill that you just get. But yeah, when you're in high school and you're a teenager or whatever, and you start doing these things, you have basically, if you have homework, you can finish that homework a couple hours, right? You have from the we get off at school at 2, you do your homework from 2 to 4. You have from 4 to 10, you have 6 hours of like doing this, building something that you couldn't have built. Like, I couldn't have built it when I was a kid, because the internet was slow as heck, right? It was super slow, but also, like, the applications weren't there, man. The applications were there, but you had to go digging, and also you'd have to use multiple applications to do the same type of thing you're doing now, and you'd have to have the money to buy a computer that worked, or you'd have to have knowledge with computers to like throttle it, so it would go fast enough so you could do the applications that you're doing, and it'd go at like 100 times slower the speed now. And yeah, it just the the ability to do things, you know, like a time lapse video. Oh my gosh, you'd have to have expensive program back in the day. You can get a free program now. And if you yeah, you have to have an expensive program back in the day to do a time lapse video. To stream something like this, oh, you couldn't. You take up too much memory. You know, you just couldn't. So like the wisdom that's being this like broadcasted is amazing, and I'm like, gosh, man, Like, I wish I had started earlier. I wish I could see things in that light, you know. But here I am. I'm doing it now, and that's what matters. Like, I'm always been like kind of late to the party because I've always been like maturity wise. Like, gosh, yeah, I've always been late to the party with everything. Like, I'm like default. I'm a default. Like, I default on a level of immaturity, uh, which is a good and bad thing, right? Like, it's good because it keeps my eyes open. It's bad because then like I have to like navigate myself and present myself in an adult fashion in the world, in this world. And I try to I want to be as serious as I can, but the reality is I don't want to be too serious because it makes me like when you be that serious, you become like this adult. You're like Peter Pan. You don't want to grow up. If you become too serious, you become grumpy. You know, you uh you start closing your mind. You funnel that lens. You decrease the aperture of your photography lens. And I'm trying my best to kind of expand my aperture, which is why I'm doing these videos, which is why I'm changing things, and I love it. It feels good. But these videos used to be really bad, and I think they're somewhere in between. Although my throat is dry, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can keep this talking up. What I think I might have to do is like after all these videos, is just not talk, because I'm basically going on a 2 hour. Was it like a diatribe rant? I'm not ranting and raving really per se. I'm just kind of talking and drawing, and I feel good. I think, as I said earlier, it's like therapeutic. Like, there's some utility in it, you know. And I like at this point I feel like I'm automatically drawing, which is I think it may be a bad thing. It may be something that maybe it's not. Maybe it makes me focus on making a focus on the tones more. And what I find is really kind of helpful right now. Sorry, this talking for like forever is really, it's getting me. Um, is I have my headphones on. It's for a few reasons. So I can block out noise outside, um, but also so I can listen to. It's like this meditation music, and it's just white noise, and it's just calming enough, right? It's just calming enough that it works. It's really it's it's separating some of like my subconscious mind, I guess. It's separating my what's it called, like there's a name for it. It's the analytical mind, and then there's like the subconscious mind. Like, the analytical mind wants to rationalize everything. I don't know if this is something that I was told or something I kind of overheard, but like, you want you get too lost into the thought, and you don't want to, and it hinders. So like that type A type mentality where it's black and white, right? So that's another 25 minutes. I'm gonna I got a 4-minute break and then another 25 minutes. It's starting to shape up a little bit. Um, yeah, it's okay. I'm not I'm not too worried about it. I'm just pushing the image forward, adding pigment and making it better with each preceding layer. So that's about to cough or sneeze. So that's good. Um, yeah, it's all a challenge. We're all challenging, you know. Uh, but yeah, my throat is pretty coarse because I've been talking for almost 2 hours. So what I do is the reason why I'm taking a break is I do the Pomodoro method, which is like that tomato timer, and the I do 25 minutes on, and then I go to do 25 minutes off, and then back and forth for 4 cycles, and that's what I do. Um, I feel that that's like I would do more if I could, but any longer will yeah, my eyes feel really heavy. I feel like they're baggy too. Uh, any longer will what will it do? Well, it gets later in the day, and then the day's starting. Like it's morning now, and the day needs to it's starting to you know uh, progress, and I need to get on with my day because after drawing, like yeah, I don't need to say that, but like I would love to draw till about noon and then not have to work. Um, just do portraits all day, but that's not in the cards at the moment. If I could do that, I would be one happy camper, man. Yeah, I'd be a happy camper. I know I'm what's it called? Uh, it's called something when you're oh no, it's not filibuster. It's not narrating. I was like prophesizing. I don't know the name, uh, but I know I'm like speaking as it and like it's never going to happen, but it's going to happen. I'm just going to keep doing it. Like these portraits are really these portraits. I heard a bird outside. They got some legs. People like them, and I like doing them. I just wish I didn't take so many on at once. Uh, the reason why I took so many on, I have like 30 of them. The reason why I took so many on because I was like, I'm not sure when people are going to stop. Like these these requests that might could end anytime soon, and I was like, I need to keep taking them because I don't know when people are going to like because people might say, you know what, I don't want them anymore. I'm not liking this eyebrow. It's not really digging. I'm not digging it, but I'll have to work on those. But it's developing each day. Um, yeah, I kept taking them because I was fearing that I wouldn't have more business, and because of the lockdown, there was no income coming in, and I needed to um, to have something, and so I was just taking them, and I kept taking them, and I kept having them do the down payments and such, and so like they already paid, and I'm just gonna knock them out. It's gonna probably take me till the end of the year, unless something big happens and I'm able to work on them more full time. But right now, I can only work on them in the morning. But it is what it is, and we're just gonna keep going, you know. All right, the last 25 minutes. I'm kind of glad because I gotta use the restroom, and I don't want to stop what I'm doing to go to the bathroom. So we're just gonna keep going. I'm gonna use it so bad. Oh no. And the last 25 minutes is gonna be me talking about how I need to use the restroom, folks. So I know that these need to be darker, and what I'm gonna do is probably go real close and get that hard edge that I want. Let's just go all the way down. So I just wanted to get this area a little dark, just to exaggerate it. At the very least, what I'm going to do, as I said earlier, I'm probably going to do like that weird highlight thing. You know. So one of the good and bad things of digital portraits is that you can zoom in and go in detail, but like the bad thing is you can keep going in into detail, and it if you don't know what you're doing, i.e., I don't know what I'm doing, um, you can end up putting details into the drawing that are kind of irrelevant. Like they don't matter. Like some of this stuff might not matter to the final result. So I'm trying to up the contrast a bit. So that's why I did that. Use the black to kind of really get that contrast going. And then I'm going to kind of smooth it out with the airbrush again. So again, this is something I've been playing around with, and I'm not too good yet at it, but it's slowly improving. Again, I'm a painter by trade, so like I don't, and even when I paint, I don't do like this soft uh, dry brush technique to create the blending effects. It's all like uh, passive, like the blending effects are occurred by the layers stacking onto each other, and not by directly putting the tones in. So that's why it's not something I'm normally I don't jump into when I do these drawings. So every new drawing is like an experiment, you know, which is it's nice because it means that I'm constantly challenging myself, and I when I get more time or when things kind of slow down. So I'm teaching right now, so like which means I'm going to be kind of in a mad rush to get some stuff ready because of the remote teaching. But I'm teaching right now because of that. I haven't had time to do some research, but I'd like to do a little bit of research on various Photoshop techniques and such, and then I might start incorporating that into my library of skills, you know. And a lot of these artists, like they do like the same thing, and I want to be competent in all of it, or a lot more than the average person. So like I don't want to just be doing, oh, this person does this type of portraiture and it looks the same. It looks the same, but it's a different portrait, you know, and the growth is slower, you know, and so I want the growth to be a little bit faster. So I need to kind of expedite some of the things and look at kind of play around with things a bit and practice different techniques So each one's a little bit different, like, but still the same from the previous drawing. So there's it's like looking. I can't explain it. I'm losing my words. Either way, I want to progress faster than I would normally progress, but right now it's, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yep, so I'm just darkening that out. That looks okay. Yeah, that's okay. Um, Again, it's probably darker than I want it to be, but I'd rather have it too dark than too light. So I'm gonna do the same on this side, just to kind of have it there, and I can always tweak it as I go. I mean, that's what I'm known to do anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not too worried about it being off or whatever, but I'm just trying to work through it and just keep working through it. Yeah, I'm running up. As you've noticed, I've kind of run out of steam with my conversation, and I think that's okay because not it's like I just spoke for about a good hour and 30 minutes, you know. And from my understanding, when I watch these Twitchers, they don't Twitch streamers or these live stream artists, they don't talk near as much, or they basically respond to what's happening, and I don't have they respond to questions as they're drawing. And I guess I could do that in the future. Right now, I don't have the capability to show two screens. So when I do that, I might have another screen somewhere that I can kind of see, hey, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, you know. But what I could do is people could ask a question on like YouTube or Facebook later on, and I can answer it in the comment section, as long as they're asking it in the comment section. I could do that, but right now I can't do it in real time. It'd be nice though. That's something that's one of the other things I want to do. I want to set up another screen and just have another screen available to kind of so I can see if anyone has questions that they'd like to ask me. You know, I'm open to that. I'll allow it. I will allow it. So again, man, it's progressing and I like it. I'm not displeased with this session because I was working the whole time and things are moving forward, and that's all you can really hope for. In the end, that's all you can really expect. You can't expect miracles, dude. You know, I think it's going to take me 20 hours to finish this. So it's probably going to take me all of next week unless I'm not able to get to the live streams. I think next week I won't be able to do as long a live stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I think I'm gonna have to like jet. Maybe I might be able to do it. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But that because of that, I might not get it done in the time that I thought I would. So this, I can't seem to get this color right, or maybe because I'm trying to manipulate it too much. I keep thinking it's like more yellow than it is, or maybe it's yellow, but not as yellow as I'm putting in it, or maybe the area surrounding it, you know, maybe this area needs to be darker, and I'm not really doing that. I know that right here needs to be darker. That's a fat jack. Darker and a little bit harder, like harder edge. That's what I'm noticing. So that's what I'm noticing here. I need to have this here. And there's this area right up here that arcs like the eyebrow. I need to have that darker than I have it right now. I'd rather have it overly dark than too light. Again, just sling it around. I think I made the eyebrows too purple too. So I'm going to use the base color that I got from there. Probably needs to be a little bit grayer. Let's knock it back a little bit, not too much. So just constantly moving, you know, move the drawing forward, tweak it as you're going. I know why my eyes hurt. I think it's because I've never really, because I'm talking and drawing at the same time. Like the dialogue is forcing me to draw the whole time. So my eyes are focused on the drawing surface the entire time, and I'm not closing my eyes. I'm not really blinking. It also, I think the house is kind of dry too. I really think I need to turn on a humidifier or something because it's like dry. It's not, it is not comfy. I'm not liking the, it's not comfortable. So because it's so darn dry in the house, um, it's making my eyes kind of like a desert. Like a desert. So even though the color's not there, I imagine this area is like a red, right where the eyelids kind of form. I'm just making it up. Because as you can see in the photo, the information is not really there, so I got to make it up a little bit. You know? And right here is darker than it really is. I need to make it darker. Just keep pushing that image forward. So slowly dialing in on the details as I progress forward, playing around with tones. and it's making it a little bit better each time. We want it to be slightly improved within each with each drawing session, you know. And you don't want to. I think one of the misguided tools, misguided things, is people don't want to accept that drawings take time to do. Like, you know, uh, some people got that skill where they can just like they're just fast at drawing. Do they every action they do they've this ingrained it they've ingrained it in their head that it's like muscle memory. They know exactly what to do every time. But the thing about that is it's you get the same outcome, and I think I want to have more variety with the outcome. I don't want it to be like I want it to look like this every time. And then some people like that, you know, and it's comforting. Me, I like being able to. I would like to have that kind of um, visual security, I guess, but also it it means I'm not challenging myself. So I got to challenge myself each time a little bit in a different way, do something slightly different, add a new element, you know. Or maybe maybe I'm deceiving myself. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. You ever see a Joe Dirt, where he goes in that uh he starts working for oil that oil, whatever it is, refinery. I'm new. He he botches the plug into the oil pump, and it starts spewing oil everywhere, you know. So that's how I feel with my drawing right now. Constantly adapting a little bit, tweaking, and trying to learn a little bit each time. Trying to get used to Photoshop. This isn't Photoshop. This is a sketchbook. Eventually, what I want to get to doing my portraits on Sketchbook Pro. But right now, I'm kind of in this position to kind of just do them here. I gave him a little pink there. I don't know why. It will be covered up to an extent. Let's cover it up a little bit. Let's soften that pink. We don't want it like that bright. Why are you putting colors pink around my eye like that? I saw pink, so I put pink there. That goes to it being true, where like artists see things differently than other people. Like, so like I was seeing some pink there, just a never so subtle, like not pink, but like a vivid red. But I curtailed it to pink. I made it pink. It's pink. Not the musical artist. I'm coming out, so I better get this party started. Coming out, so I better get this party started. just plain, just moving things around a little bit. So as you can see, it's slowly getting better and better. You know, just I'm starting to understand a little bit how this is going. And the contrast, yeah, see that contrast is starting to stack up, and that's what we want. We want that contrast to keep stacking up on top of each other. We want those layers to kind of show a little bit from the previous one. You just want to keep building the 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 visual scaffolding, as you want to maybe you want to call it. Keep building and constructing it. Believe it or not, I'm actually pretty good at drawing, but I'm also very slow, and that's one of my faults. And part of it has to do with because I don't know how to. I don't. I'm not clear on like what is the best brush for what area, and there's just too many options with Photoshop. They're like it's just so many things. Like, hey, do you want your brush to look like this? Yeah, it looks kind of cool. Well, here you go. And you start using it like, how do I use this in this situation? Like, I don't know what to do. Like this looks cool, but like it's not working with everything else that I have in play, you know? So we're getting close to the finish line for the day, and it's looking pretty good. Like as I said, we're gonna zoom out real quick. Everything's kind of like the dude's face is starting to line up pretty good. There's some things happening there that I kind of like, and just keep tightening it up. Like the eye looks particularly good, just as like a base eye, and then the woman has a lot more work to be done. I think I might. I actually said I was going to work on the shirt tomorrow, but I think I might have to spend another session on the woman. I think what I might do is bounce back between. I might do like one drawing session with the guy, and then one, and then the rest of the drawing sessions with the woman, so I can bring her up to the same like visual level. Because right now the guy has got a lot more happening. There's just working better. Things are there's more to him at the moment because I think I also spent a little bit more time on him at the beginning. So we got to fix that. We got to bring everything up around him. We got to build the images, the stuff around him up a little bit more. We just got to do that. It's just the nature of it. So maybe if I spend one session on him tomorrow, and then like 3 sessions on the lady, and then we'll think about the background or the shirts a little bit later. We'll figure that out later. But right now, we got to get the figures, these individuals here kind of working together in simpatico. They got to be they got to be visually not. I'm not saying visually the same, but they got to have they got to have like the same level of work done to them. So no, so they're not like feeling separated. Does that make sense? Well, all right. Look at that. We're gonna zoom out, do a little quick look-see, a little layer editor. So this is what we have so far. Again, making some progress, slowly tightening up on the details. Because I do that because right now, as I said, I'm not experienced enough with this medium to really know when I need to shift details. And so, like, I'm just gonna, through experience and through just learning, I'm gonna keep tightening up these forms, and eventually it'll get there. You know, it's gonna look like them, but the colors are gonna be overly saturated, and that's fine. But I kind of like it like that. You got this cool colors here. You got all these like greens and reds that you don't normally you see them here, but they're not there. Like I hyper exaggerated them. So I'm liking it. I can't wait to try using the skin pour thing on there. I usually do that near the end, and that will help make the tones. That will like even out the the transitional tones. So I'm really excited about that. But all in all, I think I'm done for the day. It was a long drawing session. I just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll be back a little bit later. I've been trying to do 2 live streams a day, one where I work on this and one where I do just something I want to, just one where I practice in Photoshop, and that's using, the next one's going to be sometime later today where I do Photoshop and I draw a pig for 30 minutes. It's not going to be a 2 hour long live stream. It's going to be a 30-minute drawing session where I kind of just get used to Photoshop and get used to using the hotkeys a little bit more. Again, I still need to do a little bit of research on what I'm doing wrong, because there's some things that are happening in Photoshop that I like, what am I doing? So thank you again very much. I appreciate your time. If you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe or follow me wherever you're viewing this. I appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day. Pearson out.